देखिए, what is the Max Weber explanation of ideal type? Max Weber coined a very unique kind of concept for explaining the social phenomena for societal aspect itself. So he applied a idealistic kind of approach for better understanding the social phenomena and society. It is a kind of interpretation about any social phenomena. So the meaning we have to understand of ideal type. Ideal हिंदी में हम लोग इसको बोलते हैं आदर्श, and type means a kind of model, right? Type means kind of model, a framework. We can say that a framework, or any form of a yardstick, तो मापने का पैमाना होता है ना, yardstick, right? So meaning समझिए, what is the meaning of ideal type? Ideal type is a kind of a model, a kind of yardstick, kind of a framework to understand the other social phenomena of society, and this ideal type fully construct inside our brain, inside the researcher brain. So it is a abstract kind of things, right? It is a model which is thought by itself researcher brain. So it become a kind of abstract model for understanding the social phenomena. So ये model क्या है? What is that model? That become the ideal type. So ideal type could be anything, right? It is a kind of mental construct, mental construct. It is a researcher mental construct, to think abstractly about any social phenomena, है ना, by creating certain model. Now इसको इस तरीके से समझिए, for better understanding ideal type. Now think about, you have to explain itself, democratic features about the society. Yeah, democratic features of democracy of any country. So what could be the features of democracy? Political party, right? Diversify kind of itself division between center and state itself. What could be the other form of democracy, features of democracy? Parliamentary, judiciary, executive, legislature, election commission, है ना, जितने भी constitutional body, non-constitutional body, political party, government organization, non-government organization, these become itself the features of the democracy. Now what we have to understand, by making an ideal type, one model, right? So if you have to understand the features of the democracy of any country, right? So you are going to create a kind of model. वर्ड पे ध्यान दीजिएगा, डेमोक्रेसी. नाउ थिंक अबाउट, दूसरा इसको इस तरीके से समझिए आइडियल टाइप समझने के लिए. सबसे पहले समझिए कि दैट इज अ मेंटल फ्रेमवर्क. इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ मॉडल. So it created by the researcher inside their brain for understanding the any phenomena itself, right? So while constructing these model, now researcher here further he talks about researcher have to be value neutral, more objective itself while choosing or constructing or forming the ideal type. So just by example, जैसे हमने democracy का example दिया है ना, now for you have to just research on any democratic country, how that is a functioning in any country. So now you set a certain aspect, certain features of the democracy, right? And it is just your creation inside your brain, kind of your thinking, inside your brain you created a one model of the democracy. And now you, as soon as you are able to create a certain set of model, now that become your ideal type. And once you start observing any country, and then after observation you can say that कि नहीं यहाँ democratic system और democratic way में society functioning हो रहा है. Now this country is very much functioning in democratic manner. Their democracy has no value. So how you are able to say such kind of thing? Once you create such kind of model, so that is ideal type. Clear? Now further itself हम लोग एक टॉपिक पढ़े थे प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स एंड स्पिरिट ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, राइट? Protestant ethics and spirit of capitalism, right? So for explaining the capitalism, the phenomena of capitalism, Max Weber created a Protestant ethics as a model, right? Protestant ethics as a model, as a framework, as a yardstick, right? To explain the rising factor of capitalism, to explain the spirit of capitalism. So what is this? This become an ideal type. Protestant ethics become an ideal type. So ideal type is nothing but it is a kind of model, it is a kind of model, it is a kind of framework, it is a kind of yardstick, right? And it should be itself created by, generated by the researcher while conducting the research, performing the research inside their brain in form of abstract form. And further Max Weber talks about while choosing such kind of ideal type, researcher should have more conscious while choosing, because that ideal type should have capacity and capability to explain the all features itself, all the dimensions about the research. So further he talks about while choosing ideal type, researcher should be value neutral also and should be precise objective. Now here one things just we have to discuss some of the features, right? Features of ideal type. लिख लीजिए इसका ideal type features. Features of ideal type और characteristic of ideal type. यहाँ तक समझे कि नहीं? क्या समझे बोलिए तो? समझ कर समझना और समझ कर नहीं समझना. ना समझना भी एक समझना है. समझ के समझना है और समझ के ना समझना भी एक समझना है. That is a great word. देखिए आइडियल टाइप लिख लीजिए. व्हाट इज आइडियल टाइप? Ideal type is a mental construct. Ideal type is a mental construct. It is a kind of model. It is a kind of model. It is a kind of model generated by researcher. Generated by researcher in abstract form. For understanding the other social phenomena of the society, for understanding other social phenomena of the society. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट बुलेट पॉइंट बनाएंगे. ठीक है. एक कार्लबर्ग, C-A-L-B-E-R-G. According to Carlberg, ideal type is a kind of yardstick. According to Carlberg, ideal type is a kind of yardstick. ठीक है. Carlberg, ideal type is a kind of yardstick. ठीक है. फर्दर नेक्स्ट पॉइंट बनाइएगा. लेचमैन, L-A-C-H-M-A-N. He said Ideal type is essentially a measuring rod. He said ideal type is essentially a measuring rod. Essentially a measuring rod, ROD, measuring rod, पैमाना है, स्केल, measuring a scale, a measuring rod to study social phenomena, नेक्स्ट पॉइंट बनाएंगे प्लेटफॉर्म में. मैक्स वेबर फर्दर टॉक्स अबाउट while choosing any ideal type or a model, researcher have to maintain highest level of perfection, and consciousness, highest level of perfection and consciousness by maintaining objectivity and value neutrality. Right, so that researcher can explain the other aspect of society or phenomena by constructing ideal type as a model, ठीक है, क्लियर, by constructing ideal type as a model. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिख लीजिए. ideal type are concept formulated on the basis of fact which collected carefully and analytically for empirical research, ठीक है, analytically for empirical research. So पैराग्राफ चेंज करके लिखिए. So ideal type derive out from the real world. But they are not the mirror image of the world. ठीक है, कोई डाउट यहां तक? व्हाट इज आइडियल टाइप? जैसे एग्जांपल लिखिए, इसका एग्जांपल देखिए, जैसे प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स एंड स्पिरिट ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, राइट, प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स एंड स्पिरिट ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, है ना, प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स एंड स्पिरिट ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म. Now Max Weber created Protestant ethics, these Protestant ethics as a model, as a yardstick, as a frame to explain the rising spirit of capitalism. rising spirit of capitalism in European society. So now that become ideal type, right? Now देखिए अगेन हम इसको रिपीट करते हैं. व्हाट ही टॉक्स अबाउट फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग एनी सोशल फिनोमेना और स्टडिंग एनी सोशल फिनोमेना, any social phenomena. Now Max Weber created one ideal type. So what is this ideal type? This ideal type is a model. This is a kind of framework. Right? What Carlsberg talks about. This is a kind of yardstick. Lechman measuring rod is a kind of measuring rod, right, to explain this social phenomena, to explain any social phenomena. So further he Max Weber talks about why explaining, as soon as the ideal type we created, and while explaining any social phenomena, now researcher have to maintain objectivity. Researcher have to maintain objectivity. Value neutrality, and highest level of perfection. Further he talks about highest level of perfection. Why he talked about researcher have to maintain a highest level of perfection? Now think about, if he attach their personal will, कि दूसरे का कहा हुआ बात मान ले, कुछ भी मान ले, and try to understand the social phenomena, in true sense he is not going to understand. So sociologist is not going to construct a good theory itself. Now think about even yourself in society. ठीक है, कुछ सोसाइटी में कुछ होता है, सोसाइटी में आजकल ज़्यादा घर में झगड़ा होता है, कुछ होता है मतलब झगड़ा होता है, हाँ क्या होता है आजकल बताइए सोसाइटी में. Now think about, अगर झगड़ा हो रहा है किसी घर में, खूब आवाज आ रही है, बराबर झगड़ा हो रहा है, धराम धरूम खूब चल रहा है. Now the other person being a neighbor, आप उसको जानने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि सोसाइटी में झगड़ा भाई हो रहा है तो क्यों हो रहा है. So even here you start talking to somebody, other nearby or the person that the उस घर से रिलेटेड किसी आदमी को आप जानते हो, उससे आप पूछना शुरू कर दिए, क्या मैटर था कि तुम्हारे घर में झगड़ा हो रहा है, क्या मैटर था, ये इतने दिन से सॉर्ट आउट नहीं हो रहा है, कुछ तो होगा मैटर. रेदर अगर रिसर्चर, द पर्सन हु वांट टू नो व्हाट कुड बी द पॉसिबल कॉज ऑफ क्वारलिंग इन देयर हाउस, वो किसी दूसरे रिलेटिव से पूछने लगा, है ना, जो उसके घर के नियर बाय भी नहीं है. तो नाउ थिंक अबाउट, अब कोई दूसरा रिलेटिव कुछ भी बता सकता है, इट मे बी, बट दे मे नॉट बी मोर ऑब्जेक्टिव, उसमें परफेक्शन नहीं होगा. बट एज सुन एज उसी के कोई घर के मेंबर से बात कर रहा है, देन ही इज एबल टू एक्सप्लेन द विथ हाईएस्ट लेवल ऑफ परफेक्शन कि यही कॉज था इसलिए ऐसा हुआ है. So now by applying and creating such kind of thesis, a model, that person able to understand the picture about their house, कि अच्छा ये मैटर था इसलिए घर में झगड़ा. समझ रहे कि नहीं? हाँ, देखिए जैसे हम डेमोक्रेसी का एग्जांपल दिए थे इटसेल्फ, है ना. इफ यू हैव टू मेजर इन ए कंट्री हाउ द डेमोक्रेसी इज फंक्शनिंग, है ना, हाउ द डेमोक्रेसी इज फंक्शनिंग, is their democracy is in well condition or not. So now for creating an ideal type itself, democracy, now you have to generate a model, some of the features of democracy, right? So what is the features of democracy? Tell me. Features of democracy: parliamentary system, political party, division of power, है ना, many of body itself, governmental, non-governmental body, and all are working for the welfare of the society, right? So these are the certain features and parameter you created inside your brain, right? And now you go to any country and observe their system, how that is performing. Is all, the body, constitutional body, whatever features you think about, now all these things working or not. Once they start working, you are able to tell, नहीं यहाँ पे डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम सही से काम कर रहा है. इफ नॉट, देन वी आर एबल टू टेल कि नहीं, डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम यहाँ पे सही काम नहीं कर रहा है. समझ रहे कि नहीं? दैट इज आइडियल टाइप. आप कुछ एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हैं हमको, व्हाट इज आइडियल टाइप? बोलिए, तो आप बोलिए, क्या समझे? हाँ, ठीक है, ठीक है. एग्जाम्पल बोलिए कुछ. राइट, राइट. आप बोलिए, आप क्या समझे? राइट, राइट, राइट. Yeah. Yeah, right. That is true till now because you pay me and yeah, yeah, right. Okay, okay. Yeah. Now I think you are able to get, right. देखिए, तो यही पिक्चर है आपका आइडियल टाइप का. ओके, आई गॉट इट, आई गॉट इट. तो दैट इज द पिक्चर ऑफ आइडियल टाइप. देखिए, कहीं कहीं बुक में लिखा रहेगा सर्टेन वेराइटी ऑफ आइडियल टाइप, राइट. जैसे वंस वी एबल टू, मैक्स वेबर एबल टू एक्सप्लेन rising of capitalism by making historical explanation, historical factors like Protestant ethics, right? So here the ideal type, such kind of ideal type, we can say that is a historical kind of ideal type, because for explaining the rising of capitalism, they make a model, historical model. समझ रहे हैं कि नहीं? इधर उधर बहुत नजर जा रहा है आपका. They Max Weber created a historical model itself, है ना? From past he take a Protestant ethics value and he tried to explain the current phenomena of rising capitalism. समझ रहे हैं? So now such kind of ideal type can be called as a historical explanation of ideal type. Other form of explanation of ideal type we can understand the general idealistic sociological or action action kind of explanation of itself ideal type. जैसे bureaucratic system या और democracy, that is actionable kind of itself ideal type. It means how democracy is acting, है ना? What is the condition of democracy? What is the condition of bureaucracy itself, any country? So now for bureaucracy, now we are able to construct certain models, certain set of features about the bureaucracy, and then we are able to understand in any capitalist society how their bureaucracy is functioning, well functioning or not, right? So there are variety of ideal type itself. लिख लीजिए, heading दीजिए, there are certain variety of ideal type also. There are certain variety of ideal type also. First लिखिए historical kind of ideal type, historical kind of ideal type, historical kind of ideal type. Next लिखिए a general sociological ideal type, a general sociological ideal type, and action ideal type, and action ideal type, and action ideal type. क्या ये कुछ फीचर्स लिख लीजिए, तो सर्टेन फीचर्स ऑफ आइडियल टाइप, सर्टेन फीचर्स ऑफ आइडियल टाइप. पहला लिखिए it helps researcher to reaching general proposition. It helps researcher to reaching general proposition and in comparative analysis general proposition in any comparative analysis. सेंटेंस है कीजिए, general proposition in any comparative analysis या for any comparative analysis. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखिए, it is ideal type or it is a general or average type. Ideal type is a general or average type They are not defined by characteristic common to all phenomena or objects of study Okay. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट लिखिए, आइडियल टाइप. ओके, एक दो पॉइंट और लिख लीजिए, देन उसके बाद आइडियल टाइप आर नॉट अ प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ टोटल रियलिटी or do not explain anything Yeah, many of features which is written in your notes, so prefer the notes पढ़ेंगे क्या, एंड डील करने की कोशिश करेंगे. इसको टाइम वेस्ट ज़्यादा नहीं करना है, इसमें पढ़िएगा, डिटेल में दिया हुआ है. दैट इज योर आइडियल टाइप. तो देखिए, मैक्स वेबर का इटसेल्फ वी स्टडी द सोशल एक्शन, है ना. सोशल एक्शन, प्रोटेस्टेंट एथिक्स, ब्यूरोक्रेसी, पावर एंड ऑथोरिटी, all these things seems like an ideal type, right? This is a abstract formation of Max Weber to study the social phenomena, for better understanding the social phenomena. ठीक है, या तो क्लियर. अब कोई पूछेगा आइडियल टाइप क्या है तो मार सकते हैं ना बम इस पे. हाँ, देखिए, फर्दर मैक्स वेबर इंटरप्रेटेटिव अप्रोच हम लोग डिस्कस किए थे, वर्स्टियन अप्रोच इटसेल्फ, है ना. वर्स्टियन अप्रोच by direct observation and empathetic kind of liaison method, for understanding the by imagining, putting on self into the other position, and we are able to understand the picture of the society. Now that is also ideal type. Worstian approach is also a kind of ideal type. Worstian approach is also a kind of ideal type. तो मेथड मेजर थ्योरेटिकल स्टैंड में हम लोग देखे थे इटसेल्फ, है ना, मैक्स वेबर इंटरप्रेटेटिव अप्रोच. So now think about empathetic liaison method. What Max Weber talks about, by putting on self into the, by imagining, putting on self into the other position, and then we are able to understand their situation of the society. So it means we create a certain set of ideal type there to understand their situation. That's why it become an ideal type also, right? रेफर कीजिएगा पीछे का नोट्स, ठीक है, राइट. ओके, एनी डाउट? क्लियर.